The mansion door slammed behind the disabled man, and his wheelchair rolled backward toward the curb. "You're not my brother anymore," Ryan Ashford hissed. Maya's heart dropped. She'd just gotten off a late shift, still wearing her waitress shoes, still smelling like coffee and fryer oil, and now she was watching a billionaire throw his own brother into the cold like trash. Before this gets even crazier, hit like and subscribe, because what happened next at Ashford's estate is the moment Ryan learned money can't outrun consequences. The disabled man, Noah, grabbed the wheel rims with shaking hands, trying to stop himself from tipping. His legs didn't move. His face was tight with pain and panic, breathing shallow like he couldn't get enough air. "Please," Noah rasped. "My meds, Ryan, my meds are inside." Ryan stood on the top step under warm porch lights, perfectly dressed, jaw clenched. He held a small zipper pouch in his hand like it offended him. "You should have thought about that before you tried to sabotage me," Ryan said. "No," Noah said, voice cracking. "I tried to stop you." Ryan's eyes flashed. "Stop me from what? Owning what's mine?" Maya stepped forward without thinking. "Sir, he needs help." Ryan turned his head like he'd just noticed a fly. "Who are you?" "Maya, I work at the diner down the road." She glanced at Noah's trembling hands. "He needs his medication. He can't be out here." Ryan's mouth twisted into a smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Not my problem." Maya's stomach turned. "That's your brother." Ryan's expression hardened. "He stopped being my brother when he refused to sign." Noah's hand slipped off the wheel. The chair rolled another inch toward the street. Maya hurried down the driveway and grabbed the handles behind the chair, bracing it. Okay, I've got you," she whispered to Noah. Noah's eyes were wet but fierce. "Don't let him—" He swallowed hard, fighting for breath. "He took my papers." Ryan lifted the pouch slightly, like a trophy. "You mean the documents that prove you're incompetent to manage the trust?" Noah's face drained. "You're lying." "I'm adapting," Ryan said coldly, "and you're in the way." Maya pulled her phone out, hands shaking, and tried to dial 911. No signal. She frowned, turned, walked 2 steps, tried again. Still nothing. The screen mocked her with a dead bar. "What?" she whispered. She looked up at the iron gates at the end of the long drive. High hedges, a security booth, cameras on posts. Ryan watched her realize it, and that same thin smile returned. "This is private property," he said. "Service is unreliable." Maya's eyes narrowed. "You're blocking it." Ryan didn't deny it. He just stepped back toward the door. "Henderson," he called inside, "get this girl off my driveway." A security guard appeared in the doorway, big shoulders, earpiece in. He looked at Maya, then at Noah, then, like everyone else, at Ryan for instructions. Maya's voice tightened. "He needs medical attention." Henderson hesitated. His lips parted as if he might say something human. Ryan's gaze snapped to him. Henderson's face went blank again. "Sir," Henderson said to Ryan, "should we—" "No," Ryan cut in. "He's dramatic. He wants a scene." Noah's breathing turned ragged. His hands clawed at the armrests. "Ryan, stop." Maya crouched slightly and leaned close. "Noah, look at me. Slow breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth." Noah tried. It came out shaky. Maya glanced at Ryan again. "At least give him the pouch." Ryan's voice dropped, quiet and venomous. "If you keep talking, I'll make sure you never work anywhere in this city again." Maya felt the threat land. People like Ryan didn't yell. They didn't need to. Their threats came with contacts, lawsuits, and doors that closed forever. But Noah was turning gray at the lips. Maya stood, anger cutting through fear. "You can threaten me later. Right now he can't breathe." Ryan stepped down one stair, eyes cold. "Then you should have walked away." Maya's phone buzzed once, like it caught a breath of signal, then died again. And then the air changed. A low rumble rolled up the driveway, not one engine, many. Slow, heavy, coordinated. Henderson stiffened, pressing his earpiece. "Control, I've got—" Static. Ryan turned toward the gates, irritation ready on his face, and froze. The iron gates were opening, not slowly, not reluctantly, opening like someone else had the code. Headlights spilled through the hedges in a perfect line. Black cars, one after another, gliding up the private drive like a funeral procession. Ryan's hand tightened around the medication pouch. "Who the hell is that?" The first car stopped at the bottom of the steps, then the second, the third. The line kept growing until the driveway looked owned. Doors opened. Men in black coats stepped out, calm and deliberate, not looking around like guests, not hesitating like they needed permission. One of them glanced at Noah in the wheelchair, then at Maya holding it steady. Then his eyes lifted to Ryan on the steps. "Mr. Ashford," the man said, voice flat and professional. "We need to speak. Now." The man in black didn't repeat himself. He simply held Ryan Ashford's stare like a lock clicking into place. Ryan tried to recover first, chin up, billionaire posture, the practiced calm he used on investors and judges. "You're trespassing," he said loudly, as if volume could turn the driveway back into his kingdom. "This is private property. Leave now." No one moved. Instead, a second man in black stepped past the first, already pulling a compact medical bag from his coat. He didn't look at Ryan. He went straight to Noah. "Sir," the medic said, kneeling beside the wheelchair, voice steady and professional. "Look at me. Can you tell me your name?" Noah's breathing rasped. "Noah." Maya leaned in. "He needs his meds." Ryan took them. Ryan snapped. "He's fine. He's performing. He does this when—" The lead man turned his head slightly. "Mr. Ashford, step back." Ryan's eyes flashed. "Excuse me?" Henderson shifted in the doorway, hand near his earpiece like he was waiting for Ryan's permission to be human. The lead man didn't argue. He nodded once, and two more black coats moved, quietly, up the steps. Not aggressive, not dramatic, just there. Ryan noticed the spacing, the angles, the way they were already controlling the porch without touching him. "Who sent you?" Ryan demanded. "If this is about money, name a number." The medic slipped a pulse oximeter on Noah's finger. The tiny screen blinked. Noah's hand trembled so hard the reading jumped. "Low oxygen saturation," the medic muttered, then looked at Maya. "Any chest pain? Any seizure history?" Maya shook her head fast. "He was begging for his medication. He can't breathe." The medic held up a hand toward Ryan without looking at him. "Where's the pouch?" Ryan lifted it slightly, stubborn. "He doesn't get it until he signs." Maya felt her stomach drop. He said it out loud, like it was normal. The lead man's voice went colder. "You're withholding medication from a disabled adult and attempting coercion." Ryan's smile turned sharp. "Coercion? He's my brother." Noah tried to speak, but it came out thin. "He wants the trust." Ryan leaned down, eyes hard. "Don't." Maya saw Noah flinch in the chair like Ryan's voice could still hit him. The lead man's gaze flicked to Maya. "Ma'am, your name?" "Maya," she said, throat tight. "Maya." "That's enough," he said. "Maya, did you witness Mr. Ashford remove medication from Noah and force him off the property?" Ryan's head whipped toward her. The threat in his eyes was immediate, personal. Maya's hands shook, but she didn't look away. "Yes," she said. "I saw it." Ryan exhaled through his nose, like she'd just signed her own death warrant. The lead man nodded once, as if checking a box. Then he reached inside his coat and produced a slim document folder, stamped, clipped, official-looking, without being flashy. He didn't wave it around. He showed it to Ryan at arm's length. "Ashford Family Trust," he said. Emergency Protective Order. Temporary removal of decision-making authority pending investigation. Ryan stared at the papers like they were a language he refused to recognize. That's not real. It's real enough, the man replied. And you're done making decisions for Noah tonight. Ryan's voice rose. My lawyers are already notified, the lead man cut in. Ryan yanked out his phone and stabbed at it. No service. He tried again, harder, like the screen owed him obedience. Nothing. His jaw tightened. What did you do? A black-coated man at the gate lifted a small device, glanced down, and put it away without comment. Whatever it was, Ryan understood it anyway. For the first time since Maya arrived, Ryan's control cracked. It showed in the tiny twitch at the corner of his mouth. The medic reached for the pouch. Give it to me. Ryan held it back. No. The lead man didn't escalate with shouting. He just nodded again. Henderson shifted, like he was about to finally move, then stopped, eyes darting between Ryan and the black coats. One of the men in black stepped onto the porch and calmly took the pouch from Ryan's hand. Ryan lurched forward. You can't. The man didn't punch him, didn't shove him. He simply blocked Ryan with a shoulder-width stance and a flat stare that said, try it and you'll lose. The medic opened the pouch, checked the labels, and administered what Noah needed with practiced speed. Noah's breathing stayed rough, but the panic in his eyes eased by a fraction. Maya exhaled, shaky. Thank God. Noah's fingers hooked weakly around Maya's sleeve. He pulled her closer like he didn't trust the air to keep him conscious. Maya, he whispered. She leaned in. I'm here. Noah's eyes flicked to Ryan, then to the men in black, then back to Maya like he was choosing his last safe place. Under the seat, he breathed. Maya's heart stumbled. What? Noah swallowed, forcing the words out. Under the seat. Don't let him. Ryan's head snapped. Noah, stop talking. The lead man heard it all. He crouched slightly, voice lower now, meant for Noah and Maya. Noah Ashford, do you feel safe remaining on this property with your brother? Noah's throat worked. His eyes stayed on Maya. Then he managed a small, barely there shake of his head. No, Noah rasped. The lead man straightened. Then we're moving you. Ryan's face went white-hot with rage. You're not taking him. This is my house. The lead man finally stepped closer to Ryan, close enough that the porch light caught the calm in his eyes. It's your house, he said, until it isn't. Then, without breaking eye contact, he added, and tonight, Mr. Ashford, it isn't. The medic and two men in black moved Noah with the care of people who'd done this 100 times. One hand steadying the chair, one hand bracing his shoulders, oxygen already flowing from a small portable tank they'd brought in the first car. Maya kept her palms on the wheelchair handles, like letting go would make Noah disappear again. Ryan stepped down fast, fury breaking through his polished mask. You can't remove him. He lives here. He's under my care. The lead man didn't look impressed. He was under your care when you denied his medication on the curb. Ryan's eyes snapped to Maya. You think you're a hero? You're a waitress. You don't get to decide what happens in my family. Maya's throat tightened, but she didn't step back. You kicked him out. Ryan's face twisted. Because he refused to sign. The words hung in the cold like proof. Noah grabbed Maya's sleeve again, weak but urgent. Under the seat, he whispered. Maya glanced down at the wheelchair seat, thick cushion, stitched seam. Noah, what? Please, Noah rasped. Before he... Ryan heard the whisper and lunged half a step, eyes sharp. Noah, stop talking. One of the blackcoats shifted into Ryan's path without touching him, just a quiet wall. Maya didn't ask permission. She crouched, slid her fingers under the seat cushion edge, and felt something taped to the underside. Flat, hard, hidden. Her heart kicked. She peeled it free. A small, black thumb drive, the size of her pinky, wrapped in medical tape. And a second item, a thin metal keycard with no markings except a tiny punched hole like it had been kept on a chain. Ryan saw it in her hand and went still for a fraction of a second. Pure panic, naked and real. "Give me that," he said, voice suddenly low. Maya's grip tightened. "What is it?" Noah's eyes fluttered, but he forced the words out. "Don't let him erase it." The lead man noticed the items immediately. His gaze sharpened, but he didn't snatch them. He looked at Noah first, respectful. "Noah Ashford," he said, "is that evidence related to coercion or the trust?" Noah gave a tiny nod. Ryan's control cracked. "This is theft. That drive belongs to my company." The lead man's voice stayed calm. "It belongs to the investigation now." Ryan's jaw clenched. "You don't have jurisdiction." The lead man stepped closer, close enough that the porch light caught the flat certainty in his eyes. "Try us." Behind them, the motorcade shifted into motion. A rear door opened on the first black car. The medic guided Noah toward it, careful with the oxygen line. Maya stayed close, her body angled like a shield. Ryan's voice rose again, desperate now. "Noah, if you leave with them, you're done. You'll never come back in this house." Noah's head turned slightly. His eyes found Ryan, and even through the sickness, something hard lived there. "You already kicked me out," Noah rasped. Ryan's face flashed with rage, then fear again as his gaze flicked to the drive in Maya's hand. Maya slid the thumb drive and keycard into her apron pocket without thinking. It was the only pocket she had, and suddenly it felt like a safe. The lead man nodded once at her. "Keep it on you." Maya swallowed. "What is it?" "You'll tell us what you know," he said, "and we'll tell you what it means. In that order." The door of the black car shut with Noah inside. The oxygen tank clicked into place. The window tint turned him into a shadow, but Maya could still see his hand raised weakly, as if he was trying to say thank you without wasting breath. Then the cars started rolling. Ryan stepped forward instinctively, like he could stop a convoy with anger. "This is my property!" A black coat near the steps spoke into an earpiece. The mansion lights flickered once. Inside, somewhere deep in the house, a dull electronic beep sounded. Then another, like systems changing hands. Ryan's head snapped toward the foyer. His voice tightened. "What are you doing in my house?" The lead man didn't even glance back. "Securing the residence. You're suspected of coercion, neglect, and tampering with trust-controlled assets." Ryan pulled at the door handle to rush inside. It didn't open. For the first time all night, the mansion treated Ryan like a stranger. His face went white. "Open the door!" Henderson stood by the entrance, frozen. His eyes flicked to Ryan, then to the men in black already moving through the foyer with purpose. A black coat walked past Henderson holding a small case. Another carried a portable drive cloner like it was standard equipment. They headed straight for a hallway Maya hadn't noticed before. One Ryan had kept off limits with private signs and keypad locks. Ryan's breathing turned sharp. "You can't go in there. That's..." "Servers," the lead man finished for him, as if he'd read the floor plan. "And a safe room." Ryan's eyes snapped back to Maya's apron pocket, and the look there wasn't just hate, it was calculation. Maya felt it in her skin. Ryan wasn't done with her. He was already deciding how to get that drive back. The convoy's second car pulled away with Noah. Another stayed, idling like an anchor. The lead man finally looked at Maya directly. "You're coming too." Maya blinked. "Me?" "You're the witness," he said. "And right now you're holding something your brother-in-law tried to keep buried." Maya's mouth went dry. "He'll come after me." The lead man didn't sugarcoat it. "Yes." Then he added, quieter, "That's why you won't be alone." Maya glanced at the mansion, at Ryan trapped outside his own door, at the black coats disappearing into the house like a tide, at the driveway filled with cars that had arrived for Noah but were now swallowing Ryan's world. Ryan caught her looking. His lips moved without sound, a promise. Maya turned away before she could read it. Maya climbed into the back of the black car with her apron still on and her hands still shaking. The door shut, and the mansion's porch lights turned into a pale glow behind tinted glass. Ryan Ashford stood on the steps, trapped outside his own front door, shouting words Maya couldn't hear, but she could read his mouth well enough. "Give it back." The car rolled forward. Maya pressed a palm over her apron pocket. The thumb drive and the key card felt heavier than they should have, like the whole night was sitting in fabric and tape. Across from her, the lead man finally spoke like a person, not a wall. "I'm Carter," he said. "We're assigned to the Trust's emergency response. Medical, security, legal." "So, not police," Maya whispered. "Not tonight," Carter replied. "But we coordinate with people who are." The medic in the front seat glanced back. "How's your breathing?" he asked Maya, like she was the patient now. Maya realized she'd been holding her breath. She forced an inhale. "I'm fine." Carter's gaze dropped to her pocket. "You took something from Noah's chair." Maya's throat tightened. "He told me to. He said Ryan would erase it." Carter nodded once. "Smart." "Smart?" Maya repeated, bitter. "I'm a waitress. I don't even know what I'm holding." "You're holding leverage," Carter said. "And that's why you're in this car instead of walking home." Maya stared out the window as the motorcade turned away from the estate road. "He'll come after me." "Yes," Carter said again, like he refused to lie to make her feel better. "And he'll do it fast, because whatever's on that drive matters." The car pulled into a private clinic entrance with no sign. 2 black coats were already there, waiting like they'd been planted. They moved Maya inside through a side corridor, clean walls, cold light, no waiting room. A door opened into a small office, no windows, a recorder on the table. A woman in a dark blazer stood up when Maya entered. "I'm Ms. Lane," she said. "Trust counsel. You're Maya?" Maya nodded. Ms. Lane gestured to the chair. "Sit. We need your statement while the details are fresh." Maya's mouth was dry. "How's Noah?" Carter answered. "Stable, not out of danger, but breathing." Maya exhaled shakily, then sat. "Ryan did that on purpose." "We know," Ms. Lane said. "We need you to say it clearly." Maya looked at the recorder like it could bite her. "Okay." Ms. Lane clicked it on. "State your name." "Maya Reyes," she said. Her voice sounded smaller than she felt. "Tell me what you saw." Maya forced herself through it, Ryan dragging Noah out, the pouch, the threat, the dead signal, the guard refusing to help, Ryan saying he doesn't get it until he signs. Each sentence felt like walking barefoot over glass. Ms. Lane didn't react emotionally. She wrote. She boxed words. She built something out of Maya's fear. When Maya finished, Carter leaned forward slightly. "Now the drive." Maya slid her fingers into her pocket and set the thumb drive and key card on the table. Ms. Lane didn't touch them. She put on gloves first, like they were radioactive. Carter held the key card up to the light. "No markings." Maya swallowed. "What does that mean?" "It means it opens something Ryan didn't want found," Carter said. The door to the office opened a crack. A black coat appeared. "Update." Carter stood. "Talk." "Server team says Ashford's safe room rack is powering down," the man said. "He triggered a wipe protocol before he got locked out. He's also on a burner phone. He made contact with outside muscle." Maya's blood went cold. "Muscle?" Carter's face didn't change, but the room got heavier. "The kind that doesn't wear uniforms." Ms. Lane looked at Maya. "This is why you don't go home." Maya's voice came out tight. "He can't just—" "He can," Carter cut in. "He's been doing it. Tonight you just saw it." Ms. Lane slid a small tablet toward Carter. "We can clone the drive here." Carter shook his head once. Not yet. Maya blinked. Why not? Because if Ryan thinks he lost it, he'll start burning everything else, Carter said. He'll destroy whatever he can reach. We need the rest of the chain. He pointed at the keycard. This card is the rest. Maya stared at it. Where does it go? Carter didn't answer immediately. He looked at Ms. Lane, and she gave a tiny nod like she'd already made the decision. Carter turned back to Maya. There's a storage facility tied to the trust's shadow accounts. Noah can't access it right now. Ryan can't access it without Noah. But this, he tapped the keycard lightly, means Noah prepared a backup. Maya's throat tightened. So Noah knew. He knew Ryan would try to erase himself, Carter said. And he put the key where Ryan wouldn't think to look. Maya swallowed. On a waitress. Ms. Lane's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, and her expression tightened for the first time. Cole, Ryan just filed an emergency motion claiming Noah is mentally unfit and that unknown parties abducted him, she said. He's also naming Maya Reyes as a hostile actor. Maya's stomach dropped.
He's putting my name in court?
He's putting your name wherever it can hurt you, Carter said. Because it's easier to crush you than to admit he kicked his disabled brother into the street. A commotion rose faintly in the corridor. Fast footsteps, a sharp voice, then it cut off, like someone closed a door on it. Carter looked toward the hallway slit. That's them checking the perimeter. Maya's hands trembled. What happens now? Carter picked up the thumb drive and key card, gloved now, and placed them into a small evidence pouch with a seal. Then he held the pouch out to Maya. Hold it, he said. Maya stared. Why me? Because Ryan will assume we have it, Carter said. He'll throw everything he has at us. He won't expect it to be on you. Maya's mouth went dry. That makes me bait. Carter didn't lie. Yes. Ms. Lane's voice softened by a fraction. But bait with a shield. Carter opened the door and spoke to someone outside. We move now. Secondary vehicle, no lights. Maya stood, legs unsteady, and took the sealed pouch. The plastic crinkled in her hand like it was too fragile for what it carried. Carter looked at her, calm and direct. Maya, if you do exactly what we say, we end this tonight. If you hesitate, Ryan gets time. Maya thought of Noah's gray lips, the wheelchair rolling toward the street, Ryan's face when he saw the drive in her hand. She nodded once. Tell me where to go. The second vehicle wasn't another black sedan. It was a plain gray SUV with a dented bumper and a missing hubcap, so normal it looked invisible in the city. Carter put Maya in the back seat alone, then slid in beside her without looking like he was guarding her. Two more cars trailed at a distance, not tight, not obvious. Where are we going? Maya asked, fingers clenched around the sealed evidence pouch. Carter didn't blink. A storage facility Noah used as a dead drop. If Ryan's wiping servers, that locker is the backup. Ms. Lane's voice came through Carter's earpiece. Ryan's outside muscle just checked into a nearby hotel under a fake construction company. They're moving. Maya's stomach tightened. So he's sending people. Yes, Carter said. And he thinks they're coming for us, not you. The SUV turned off the main avenue and into an industrial stretch of warehouses and fenced lots. The streetlights were colder here. The air smelled like wet concrete and diesel. A battered storage facility sign flickered ahead. Carter didn't park in front. He stopped around the corner behind a delivery truck and nodded once. Keycard, he said. Maya pulled it out with shaking fingers. If I walk in there, you won't be alone, Carter said. And that was the only comfort he allowed himself. They moved fast, quiet. A side gate opened with a code. Inside, the hallway was long and empty, the kind of place where echoes made you feel watched. Locker 19B sat halfway down. Maya's hand trembled as she swiped the keycard. A green light blinked. The lock clicked. The door rolled up with a hollow rattle, and Maya's breath caught. Inside was a metal lockbox and a thick manila envelope stamped with the Ashford Family Trust seal. Beside it, a small body cam-style device in a foam slot, and a second thumb drive, newer, labeled in Noah's handwriting. Noah, if Ryan moves. Carter's expression tightened. He knew. Maya swallowed. What do we do? Carter didn't reach in immediately. He filmed everything in place with his phone, then nodded to one of his men. Gloves, evidence bag, photos, slow hands. Maya stared at the envelope like it could explode. What's in it? Carter opened it just enough to confirm what it was, then slid it back in. Trust documents, he said, and a trustee override. Ryan can't touch the estate without Noah's consent. That's why he tried to break him. Maya's throat burned. So Noah wasn't the weak one. Carter's eyes stayed hard.
Noah was the lock.
A faint sound traveled down the corridor, metal on metal. A door rolling up. Not theirs. Carter's head turned instantly. His hand lifted. Stop. Maya froze. Footsteps came next. Slow. Confident. 2 sets, maybe 3. Not staff. A voice drifted in, casual, like it belonged. You're making this messy, Carter. Carter didn't flinch. Turn around. A man stepped into the emergency-lit stretch of hallway wearing a dark hoodie and work boots. His face was calm, almost bored. Behind him, another man held a duffel like it wasn't heavy. Maya Reyes, the first man said, eyes sliding to her. Boss wants his property back. Maya's blood went cold. They knew her name. Carter's voice stayed flat. That pouch isn't property. The man smiled. Everything's property to Ryan Ashford. Maya's fingers tightened around the sealed pouch until the plastic creaked. Carter angled his body slightly in front of her without making it a show. Last warning. The hoodie man lifted a hand like he was calming a situation. No one has to get hurt. Give us the drive and the card. We walk. Carter's gaze didn't move. You're too late. The hoodie man's smile faded. Am I? From behind them, near the front entrance, an engine note rose, then stopped. Door slams. Multiple. Fast. The hoodie man's eyes flicked past Carter just once, and in that split second, Carter moved. Not swinging, not charging, just a quick step that shifted the line of the hallway so his people had angles. One black coat grabbed the duffel guy's wrist and pinned it to the wall. Another stepped into the hoodie man's space and shoved him back without a punch, forcing him off balance. Maya didn't scream. She couldn't. She backed up into the locker bay, clutching the pouch like it was her heartbeat. The hoodie man recovered and reached toward his waistband. A sharp voice cut through the corridor like a blade. Federal agents! Hands! Flashlights flooded the hall. Jackets, badges. Controlled weapons held low. The kind of presence that made even tough men remember consequences. The hoodie man's face changed, panic flashing through the calm. He lifted his hands slowly. Carter didn't look surprised. He just looked tired. Told you, he said. Agents moved in. Zip ties snapped. The duffel hit the floor. Maya stood frozen, chest heaving, as an agent approached her gently. Ma'am, are you Maya Reyes? Maya nodded. You're safe, the agent said. Stay right there. Footsteps echoed again, heavier this time, sharper. A familiar voice tore down the corridor before the man even appeared. Move! Ryan Ashford stormed into view in a tailored coat, eyes wild with fury and fear, like he'd finally run out of ways to control the night. He stopped dead when he saw the badges. His gaze flicked to Maya's hands, to the sealed pouch, to the open locker. His face tightened. You. Maya met his eyes and didn't look away. Ryan's voice dropped, poisonous. I offered you a life. You chose this? Carter stepped between them. Mr. Ashford? Ryan's mouth twisted. Oh, so now you want to speak like we're civilized? An agent stepped forward with a paper in hand. Ryan Ashford, you are being detained for suspected coercion, neglect of a disabled adult, obstruction, and financial crimes pending investigation. Ryan scoffed, but his eyes were searching for exits that weren't there. Detained? For what? Family drama? The agent's tone didn't change. For withholding medication to force a signature. For tampering with communications on your property. For initiating a data wipe. And for what's in that locker. Ryan's jaw clenched so hard it looked painful. That's fabricated. Carter's voice stayed calm. Noah's statement is already recorded. Medical records confirm distress. A witness confirms coercion. Ryan's eyes snapped back to Maya with pure hate. A waitress. Maya's voice came out steady, even though her hands still shook.
A person who didn't walk away.
For one heartbeat, Ryan looked like he might lunge, just to feel powerful. He didn't. Because the agent's hand closed on his arm, cuffs clicked, and suddenly, Ryan Ashford was just another man whose world didn't listen anymore. As they walked him out, Ryan turned his head once, eyes locked on Maya. This isn't over. Carter didn't let Maya answer. He simply said, quiet and final, "For you, it is." Later, back at the clinic, Noah's breathing was steadier. His eyes found Maya and softened with exhaustion. "You did it," Noah whispered. Maya swallowed hard. "I just listened." Noah's lips twitched. That's more than he ever did. Carter stood at the foot of the bed, phone buzzing with updates he didn't share. Ms. Lane's voice came through once, clipped and satisfied. The trust is locked. Ryan's access is suspended, assets frozen. Maya sat back in the chair, apron still on, like she hadn't had time to become someone else yet. Noah looked at her and whispered, "Thank you." Maya nodded once, because if she spoke, she'd break.